Okay, artists, you ready to make a caterpillar with me? We're gonna make this really cute little, very hungry caterpillar, and you can make a background for him too. But let's start with the caterpillar. We're gonna use this clay that I put in your art kit called Model Magic. It's a little different than the clay we have at school, and you don't need to get it wet or scratch it to put two pieces together. You can just stick it together. So if you want to make a big caterpillar like mine, use all your clay. If you want to make a smaller caterpillar, you can save some clay for later to do something fun on your own, and that's okay too. But I'm going to use all of my clay to show you how to make a big one. So I'm kind of smushing it into this long piece like this to imagine my caterpillar, and the head is a larger circle than the circles that make up his body, or a sphere rather. So I'm going to pull some clay out, roll it in a ball, and look at it and say, yep, I think that's okay for my head. Then what I want to do is I want to pull off other bits of clay and try to figure out a good size for the body pieces. So they don't have to all be exactly the same size, but if I make one and I say, oh, it's a little too small, I can just add some on. It sticks together really nicely. So pull some clay off. See how I'm rolling in the palm of my hands like this? Roll to make a sphere. It doesn't have to be a perfect sphere. Pull some off. How many circles do you think it's going to take to make my caterpillar? Can you count the circles that I made on that caterpillar? I wonder if it will be the same or if it will be different. And what if you think one is too big? Like, what if I made this guy too big? You could pull off a little bit and roll it again. So that's how you change your size. I think I want the bottom or the end of him, the tail, to be kind of small. So I'm going to make these a little bit small. Okay, there we go. Now you're going to hold your head and take each piece and just smush it gently. You don't need a lot of pressure. I'm holding the head, smush, pull it over, smush. That's all. You don't even need water or anything. Pretty cool, huh? Kind of feels like marshmallows, but not good to eat. Okay, so now I want to kind of shape him. His head got a little smushed from me working with him, so I'm going to make the head a little bit rounder again. And now you want to decide, just like we did with our collage caterpillars in kindergarten, you can make them curl like that. You could make him up like that. Oh, that's fun. Does that kind of look like the very hungry caterpillar? That's a little bit tricky, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to try to have him go up. His middle section got a little bit rough. So maybe I smooth with my finger there. Remember, if he gets smushed, just pick him up and reshape him. Okay, so my caterpillar is going to be like that. And then we're going to paint him. And what you want to do for the eyes is you want a piece that needs to be white. So we're going to borrow a little bit off the tail, just the tiniest bit, because we want the tail piece to be smaller. So I just took the tiniest bit off, and then take a little piece of that. See how small that is? Little tiny ball. We're going to save those, so we want those to be white later. Try to make them about the same size. There we go. I even have this extra. Okay, so then we're going to paint him. And I did mine just like the Very Hungry Caterpillar. I did a red head and a green body, but you could do different colors if you wanted to. So I'm going to do the red first, and I'm going to watch this line all the way around and try to just keep it on that circle all the way to the bottom. You don't have to paint the bottom, but it's okay if you get a little bit on there. He's going to be a little sticky, so you might want to move him around while he dries so he doesn't stick to the table too much. But you're working on your mess mat, so if you have to paint him on the table like this and you get a little paint, it's okay. It's your mess mat. Okay, so make sure that you rinse your brush really well before you do the green. Remember, swoosh, scrape, and dry. Okay, so I'm going to use my green now and go ahead and paint the body. I use a few different greens. And what's cool is the green kind of sinks into those little cracks and you can see the different shapes of your caterpillar. Okay, so you don't have to watch me paint the entire green body, but you can imagine I'll get all of this part green, and when I go up to the head, I'm going to be really careful. If you have time, let that head dry maybe first, because he's going to get a little sticky and a little slimy while we're painting him. That's okay. And as we move him around, keep him on the clean paper. If that got a little smudged right there, go back and paint him again. Okay, and if you want to add antennas, I just found little sticks outside. Maybe you have something else. He doesn't have to have antennas, but while the clay is still wet or not hard, still soft, you can push in little antennas like that. And then for the eyes, you want to gently place them where you want, push them so the sphere becomes a flat circle, like that. And then you can take your Sharpie, the thicker end, and you can just push in really gentle, like that, to give him some eyes. And then when he's dry, you can draw on a little mouth like that. All right, so I'm going to continue painting this guy green, let him dry, and then I can do a background. So I'll move him over here to dry. And what I did was I drew some big leaves with my oil pastel, and then I painted it with green paint and a blue background. You could also do a little painting. I use Sharpie for outline and paint, and you could make a fruit or a piece of cake or something for your caterpillar to eat if you want to place him on something like that. If you wanted to glue him on, you can use a glue stick for the bottom here. You can take glue stick and glue and put him on a piece of fruit. But I'm just leaving mine like a toy so I can play with him and move him around. So you can make a leafy background, you could make a fruit background, you could cut it out or not cut it out, and then you'll have a caterpillar of your own. Have fun.